From the Lumberyard in Pullman, this is the Cougar Football Hour. Tonight's show is presented by Crimson and Gray. Visit them at 1096 Southeast Bishop Boulevard in Pullman, or find them at every Cougar Football Hour this season. Crimson and Gray, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. Now, alongside Cougar head coach Jimmy Rogers, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
It is good to be back. The bye week in the rearview mirror, and here we are at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. It is the Cougar Football Hour. Packed weekend coming up. Oh, so much Cougar athletics to enjoy starting tomorrow. I was going to say tomorrow night, really tomorrow afternoon with the women's basketball game, and then into the evening, the men's basketball game, and of course the football game, 7 o'clock, Louisiana Tech, the opponent. Can't wait for that at Gesa Field. On tonight's show, of course, we'll be joined by the guy right next to me, the head coach of the Cougs, Jimmy Rogers. We'll have defensive lines coach Jalen Bibbs and also defensive lineman Max Balloon joining us on tonight's show. And before we jump into things here with Coach Rogers, we've got a special giveaway happening right here tonight. Make sure to stop by the Crimson and Gray table here at the Lumberyard and sign up for your chance to win a set of 4 tickets to Saturday's football game against Louisiana Tech. And that's not all. One lucky grand prize winner will also receive 4 Cougar Den VIP hospitality passes for a pregame experience you won't want to miss. We'll be giving away 3 sets of tickets total, so don't miss your chance. Head over to the sign-up table here at the Lumberyard, put your name down, and you can be cheering on the Cougs in person. And if you miss out tonight, this ticket giveaway will be happening again the next 2 coaches' shows, so keep coming back for another shot to win. And here we are, Jimmy Rogers, coach, the bye week. How are you doing? How was the bye week for you?
It was good. It gave us time as a team to kind of step back, go back to several games and look at our progression and then the things obviously that we need to work at. But it was also a time a little bit this late in the season for our guys to get away from football, kind of recoup, refresh, and then try to hit this week running with 3 games left to go, giving it our best this week.
And it seems like it's not just a physical benefit. There's the mental benefit as well, just to be able to kind of step away and then be as fresh as possible for this final push.
Yeah, obviously, numerous guys injured too. So as much as it's taxing on some people mentally, we have had so many injuries this season. So I didn't feel like it was worth going on Thursday. I felt like just the getting away. We went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this past week and trying to let the guys recoup because we went on Monday and you know, you're always trying to gain advantage on an upcoming opponent, and the biggest thing is that you have their focus on any time that you're preparing against somebody. So to be 2 weeks out preparing, I just felt like it was best for the guy's psyche and the mindset of the team to kind of get away and then come back and be able to lock in and focus the way we need to in order to win this upcoming game.
This is our first Cougar Football Hour since that last game in Corvallis against Oregon State. A tight one. The Cougs ended up falling to the Beavs. How do you look back on that game with Oregon State?
Yeah, it was a frustrating loss. I felt like defensively we played well enough to win the game. We had 10 stops and 10 points, and I was proud of them and their ability to overcome adversity in the game, just the consistency of how we took the field. It wasn't always pretty on that side either. There was some error inside, but overall, just the response throughout the game was what we're looking for as a defense. And there are things obviously that we need to improve, but offensively we need to just not kill ourselves. Some of the errors in which we have shown throughout the year keep glaring their head, and we need to stay focused on not putting ourselves behind the sticks, not doing things to kill ourselves. We just got to grow and be better. There's multiple things in that game that obviously the players would want back, I would want back, and the only thing that we can now do is look forward and improve on the things that we've struggled with and come out with a certain level of spirit to win this game. And so that's where we put our focus, and that's what I'm excited about, watching these guys finish out the rest of the season.
You mentioned the defense there. 17 points over the last 2 games. I know you and Jesse Bobbitt and everyone on the defensive side of the football set a high standard, but that's an impressive stretch in 2 straight games to only give up 17 points.
Yeah, I'm proud of the overall defensive energy and effort that the coaches and players have put into this. It's showing. You can see the culture of how they come off the bench. I think that says a lot about the leadership of Coach Bobbitt and really the whole defensive staff. I feel like with so many guys being out on that side of the ball too, or banged up and in and out, it takes a lot to not feel like you even looking like there's any form of a drop off. And regardless of who goes into the game, I don't think it's been glaring, which is a huge bright spot, especially because we have a lot of those guys returning this upcoming year. You'll hear from Max, but him being one of those guys. So I'm excited about the future, but we're not done yet. We got to finish this. There's a lot of games to be played, and our expectation is to get to a bowl game, but we can't get there without winning this one first. So this is a really good football team. I'm excited to kind of turn the page on them and or on Oregon State and focus on this team. We got to come out and play sharp though, because they're really fast on the back end of their defense, and then offensively they've kind of banged up at quarterback. We'll see. They're the guy that potentially he started the season off. We expect to see him quite a bit, but they got great skill on the perimeter and they're fast, and we got to come out and make sure we minimize air and attack them and play physical.
Yeah, that matchup Saturday night, Louisiana Tech, the opponent, kickoff at Gesa Field at 7 o'clock. Our coverage here on the Cougar Sports Network will come your way at 5 o'clock. And before just officially kind of turning the page on Oregon State, just one last thought. And
I was trying to get away from it. You felt that?
I know, I did. But I think one of the things that, maybe the result wasn't there that you wanted, but it was you have a spot in that game where there are two offensive linemen who are making their college debuts. And maybe that's not the ideal scenario to have that now, but guys getting that experience, who I know you hope are a big part of things for years to come, with Brock Dew suffering an injury. Trevor Bindle ended up rotating in there a little bit. Kyle Martin playing. How was that, having those young guys kind of get their first taste of things?
Yeah, I think it's that's the silver lining in any injury. Obviously, you don't want anybody to go down, regardless of what they are in the rotation. But when a starter goes down, you got to be able to plug and play, and that's been the nature of this season a little bit for us. And I was proud of the way Kyle Martin went in there and battled, and you could he's showing his ability to focus in meetings and be able to execute his role. And for Trevor Bindle, who's going to be a really good freshman or really good player in the future, he's just a freshman, and to play that position at the physicality in which it takes to have success, to not mess up mentally when bulls are flying. It's hard for an 18-year-old kid to battle against 22-year-old grown men. And credit to Coach Lucas and Coach Apati as far as getting him at least close to that, because you don't really see that a whole lot. That's maybe the one position that is the hardest to play right away, just because the overall size of the player that you need, and then obviously the mental side, in which there is a good amount of mental work when you're talking about all the blitz pickup and the protection stuff. So he gave up a play in there. He's going to learn from it, and he's going to grow and get better, and that's what I'm excited for. This group of young players that are getting opportunities this year, it's not just him, it's a lot of players. And the biggest thing I would say is we got to retain them. We're living in a different landscape, and if we want to continue to have success and grow and recruit high school players and develop them in our system, you got to be able to retain them. And I think that, more than anything, is extremely important right now.
Well said there, Coach. And with that, we'll take a break. But still ahead on tonight's show, we're going to have defensive line coach Jalen Bibbs stopping by. We're going to have Max Balloon, who's someone I know you've talked about earlier this week. We'll have you kind of give us an intro to Max. But even though not the best luck this year injury-wise, exciting that there's still more on his horizon in Crimson and Gray. And then we will have that full breakdown of Louisiana Tech. The Bulldogs coming to town on Saturday. It is the Cougar Football Hour. More with the head coach of the Cougs, Jimmy Rogers. After this, you're listening to the Cougar Sports Network.
As proud Cougs, we always find our way back home. At McVeigh Brothers, we want to help all Cougs improve the value of your home. Hello, I'm Mike McVeigh from McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows, a proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. The team of professionals at McVeigh Brothers take great pride in helping our customers remodel their homes with new entry doors, rain gutters, siding, roofing, and windows. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fatburger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
If you use natural gas, you recognize its blue flame. But natural gas is actually invisible and odorless. That's why Avista adds a rotten egg scent, in case there's ever a leak. If you smell natural gas at home, get outside fast. Don't flip switches or do anything to cause a spark. Go somewhere safe. Call 911. Then Avista. We'll take care of the problem and tell you when it's okay to return. Till then, it's a good excuse to visit the neighbors. Avista. We just want you to be safe.
Download the WSU Cougars mobile app today, which features the latest news. Plus, it's your way to stream all of our Cougar Sports Network radio broadcasts. Listen to Cougar football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball game broadcast, plus coaches shows, all for free with WSU Cougars Game Day app. Take our broadcast with you wherever you go. Available now by searching WSU Cougars Game Day in the Apple App Store or Google Play.
Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards Program. Stay tuned for more information on how to become a Rewards Program member. Here we are, another great crowd. We had last week off with the bye, and it is so good to be back here at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. We are joined by the head coach of the Cougs, Jimmy Rogers. It is the Cougar Football Hour. All systems go towards Saturday, Louisiana Tech, the opponent, 7 o'clock kickoff. And we've got a couple of great guests here tonight. Let's start with the member of the coaching staff who will be joining us, Jalen Bibbs. How would you describe what he brings to the team and the coaching staff as a whole?
Yeah, I would say he's a really detailed, passionate coach. I mean, the way he coaches the players, the way he takes notes, the way he's really serious about, living out his duties as a coach, not only to the players themselves, but to myself and the rest of the staff. Like, he's really bought into doing his very best. He's a great recruiter, but I would say the biggest showcase is the players that play for him and the connection that they have together in that room. It just doesn't happen without great leadership. And so, and nowadays, to be able to rotate like we do on D-line, it's a big part of our success defensively. And you have to be selfless to be okay with that. You have to be okay, sharing reps. But the way that group has come together and how consistent they've been and the effort in which they play with is a huge credit to Coach Bibbs and the relationships that he has formed with those guys in that room.
I know you had the comment before describing him, saying that he takes a lack of execution about as personal as it can get. That feels like a pretty high compliment. Yeah,
I think that's really the way it should feel. When your players don't perform right, you're you're upset about it a little bit, and you feel like it's your responsibility. I used to just feel the defenses, the pain and the errors inside of a game because you felt like you let them down. Now I feel all of it, special teams and offense. So I think he does it the right way, and his players play hard. So I think it's a credit to him and just the room and the culture that he's created in there.
That room you talk about and that position group, defensive line, that covers a lot. Just the skill sets it takes to be strong on the interior or strong on the edge. It takes a special coach, right, to oversee all that comes with that position group.
Yeah, and I'd say how we coach it, he does a great job of teaching in really simplistic terms because they all meet together. It was one of the biggest things I thought was a huge change of our defense, like in 2019, is that we stripped away a defensive tackles coach and a defensive end coach because I thought it was pivotal that they heard the same teaching in the room. You don't always have a center coach and an offensive guard coach or an interior line coach and an offensive tackle coach. Like, you work as one, and so a lot of the teaching is carryover from one position to another to the next, and I think the overall culture is set by the tone of one person and then the players and the other assistant coaches buying into it as well. So, a lot of times you see the personality of your players show up, and I think for Coach Bibbs that's surely the case.
Max Balloon going to be our player guest. We're excited to talk to him again, as we mentioned in the first segment. He's had some bad luck injury-wise this year, but someone I know you mentioned earlier this week, and maybe you can touch on that as you answer this next question, but how would you describe what he brings to the team both on and off the field?
Great leadership, confidence. He's been in this system the longest. Feels like yesterday, 2020, COVID. He's taken the most mental reps. I know that, surely, maybe outside of some of the DBs that were with us at South Dakota State in 2020. But I've been with him the longest. 2020, we recruited him. He was probably, or 19, he was 235 pounds. We recruited him to play D-end. And didn't take long before we kind of realized, like, okay, he is a big human being. We're going to move him inside and let him blossom. And every year he's consistently grown and gotten better. And credit to him, he works his butt off. Great player, great teammate, and obviously he's earned the respect of his teammates. He was voted on by his peers as a captain. So it says a lot about him as a person. Really a humble kid that works extremely hard, and we're excited to get him back one more year for what will feel like a lifetime. But he's one of the few guys that I've been able to talk into not just starting life so fast. I was joking with him the other day. You got the rest of your life to work, man. This is just do this as long as possible. So I'm glad he accepted the advice.
Well, it's exciting to know that there's more football in front of him and more football here on the Palouse. Coach, we appreciate the time. We'll let you loose for now. We'll talk to Jalen Bibbs coming up. We'll talk to Max Balloon coming up, and we'll have you back on a little later on to preview Louisiana Tech.
Awesome. Thanks.
Again, that is the head coach of the Cougs, Jimmy Rogers, joining us here on the Cougar Football Hour. A reminder, a strong NIL program is fueling a new era for Cougar athletics. WSU is creating opportunities that attract elite talent, keep our stars in Pullman, and unite Cougs everywhere. You can help power the movement, donate to the CAF, join the Cougar Collective's 1890 Club, or partner your business with an athlete through Playfly Max. Together, we're building the foundation for long-term success in the new Pac-12. Go Cougs. Well, after this, we'll have defensive lines coach Jalen Bibbs stopping by here on the Cougar Football Hour after this timeout. You are listening to Cougar Football Hour live from the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Dear Traction, Toyota has 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. The RAV4 has legendary versatility. The Grand Highlander's adult-sized third row is for real. And the Tacoma's wild side comes standard. From job sites to campsites and game nights, there's an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive Toyota to get you there in style. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone, too. For my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile. Thanks, Zoe. The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible boardings on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end in balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Well, WSU fans want to support the team just by paying your phone bill. Switch to Cougs Mobile today at cougsmobile.com on the T-Mobile 5G network. Here we are back at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. It is the Cougar Football Hour, getting you ready for this big weekend. Of course, the football game Saturday night, kickoff at 7 o'clock. Volleyball Saturday, that is at noon. And then tomorrow, plenty of hoops coming up, 4 o'clock. The women will take on Stanford. So an opponent there, Stanford making their way to town. And then the second part of that twin bill, it will be the Huskies at Beasley Coliseum. David Riley and company taking on UW. So looking forward to this packed weekend. And right now we're looking forward to talking with Jalen Bibbs, defensive lines coach here for WSU. Thanks for being here tonight. How are you doing?
Doing great. Appreciate you having me tonight.
Well, first year for everyone on the staff here in Pullman and at WSU. How is it being part of the Cougar football program?
It's awesome. I mean, we came to a community that has done nothing but support us from the jump, and I think that we've all felt that, but also our families have felt that. So I think it's made the transition very seamless, not only for us as coaches, but for our families, for our wives, for our kids as well. So everything's been awesome.
Well, that is great to hear. And for you, your football journey, take us through that path as a player and as a coach that ultimately the road led you right here to Pullman.
Yep, so I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, went to Desert Vista High School. Funny enough, one of the few high schools that I lost to was actually Coach Rogers High School, Hamilton High School in Chandler.
Were you playing against each other, same age?
Not the same age.
Okay.
Not the same age. So I actually ended up graduating a few years after he did, but they were a team that we would battle every year. But after I finished up at Desert Vista High School, I actually went out to South Dakota to where I played at Northern State University, a Division II program out there. And loved my time in Aberdeen, South Dakota. And I never really thought that football was going to be my path post-grad. It was really just thinking about, what I wanted my purpose to be after I finished up playing and thinking about the impact that my coaches had on me, which ultimately led me to getting into coaching. So after I graduated from Northern, I went to St. Cloud State, where I was the outside linebackers coach there for 2 years, a program in Minnesota, and then went back to my alma mater. Then I went to a program in Michigan before I arrived at South Dakota State. So I've kind of been all over the Midwest region before ultimately we made the transition here to Pullman.
And you worked your way up. I was looking at your bio, and I think I saw at Grand Valley State that you were the program's academic and travel coordinator, which, I mean, you have enough on your plate as a coach, but when you're working your way up the ladder, it's all tasks that you kind of are able to bring on, right?
Yeah, I had a lot of different hats that I had to wear when I was at Grand Valley, even when I was at St. Cloud and when I was at Northern. And obviously, Coach Rogers, he gave me a compliment just as far as, like, the detail that I try to provide every single day. I think all of the opportunities that I had leading up to this point is what allowed me to be able to be as detailed and as efficient as I believe that I am. So really blessed to be in this position, but obviously there's always work that needs to continue to be done.
Well, and we're excited to talk coming up here about those guys that you're in the trenches with, that you work with day in and day out. I know for the defensive line, there's a group of these talented guys, and so many of them have been leaned on. There have been injuries to that position group, but it's been impressive to see next man up and guys continue to produce. So we're going to take a timeout. We're going to talk about those guys coming up. We're here with defensive line coach for Washington State, Jalen Bibbs. When we come back, we'll talk about those members of the defensive line, and after that, we'll have one of the defensive linemen, Max Balloon, joining us. That's all after this break. You're listening to the Cougar Football Hour, live from the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman on the Cougar Sports Network.
Coug fans, don't miss a single play this season while camping on the Oregon coast, in the Sonoran Desert, or in the wilderness of Yellowstone in an RV from Valley RV Supercenter. Valley RVs can come with all the technologies you'll need so you never miss a down, wherever you are. Better yet, why not work on your pregame skills at an away game or in the Palouse, where tailgating was perfected. We're a proud Coug supporter. Come see us in Kent or at ValleyRVSupercenter.com, where journeys begin.
Get game day ready at Rosars. Rosars is a proud sponsor of WSU Athletics and your headquarters for keeping snacks stocked up for game time. You'll find the largest craft beer selection, local and imported wines, and all the makings for your favorite cocktails. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite deli snacks, pizza, rotisserie chickens, and ribs. Don't just watch the game, experience it with your favorite game time foods. Get game day ready at Rosars.
As proud Cougs, we always find our way back home. At McVeigh Brothers, we want to help all Cougs improve the value of your home. Hello, I'm Mike McVeigh from McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows, a proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. The team of professionals at McVeigh Brothers take great pride in helping our customers remodel their homes with new entry doors, rain gutters, siding, roofing, and windows. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
Alliant Employee Benefits is the Inland Northwest leader in employee benefit consulting and brokerage. Alliant is a difference maker, providing employee benefit solutions and problem solving while helping companies grow and protect their business. Alliant keeps its clients on the forefront of the benefit industry's constant evolution while improving the benefits experience for employees through better health outcomes and more cost-effective care. Give Alliant a call and see what they can do for you.
This is the Cougar Football Hour. Tonight's show is presented by Crimson and Gray. Visit them at 1096 Southeast Bishop Boulevard in Pullman, or find them at every Cougar Football Hour this season. Crimson and Gray, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. Once again, back to the Lumberyard Food Hall in downtown Pullman. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
We are back at the Lumberyard. It is the Cougar Football Hour, and a reminder, you can listen to every Cougar football game and Cougar Football Hour for free on our WSU Cougars Game Day app. And now that we're in crossover season, basketball's going on, you can listen to every basketball game for free as well on the WSU Cougars Game Day app. Take our broadcast with you wherever you go. Download the WSU Cougars Game Day app today, available now in the Apple App Store or Google Play. Back here with defensive line coach Jalen Bibbs for Washington State. And coach, okay, your group has really been adaptable this year. That seems to be a key word, next man up. How do you feel the group as a whole has done rolling with the punches when there have been a number of injuries you've had to deal with?
Yeah, I feel like the group overall has responded really well through adversity. We've had a lot of it this year, but through all of it, I wouldn't really say that there's been any drop-off, and that's one of the things that we're constantly preaching is that we want to make sure that we have as much depth as possible early on, so when you do run into these unfortunate circumstances like we have, that product that you put out there on the field, it doesn't drop at all. And the guys have continued to battle through all of it, and Coach Rogers mentioned earlier, we do have a really selfless group, and I think that shows with the spirit that they come out with and play every single day with.
Let's talk about the interior, where maybe lately you haven't been able to rotate as much as you'd like to in a perfect world just because of that level of availability. Max Baluna, we're going to talk to next, has been out. Caden Beatty's been out. Mike Sandra's been out. But some of these guys who have shouldered more of the load, Bryson Lamb, Darian Dalton, we've seen Malaki Ta'ase, his versatility, Sony Finau, and that's not to mention some of maybe the younger guys who have been in there. How would you say that group, just specifically the guys on the interior, have responded?
Yeah, they've grinded through it, and I've been very pleased. I think we all have been very pleased with the product that they've been able to put out there, because we always talk about everything starts up front. Well, really everything starts on the interior. When you have a solid defensive tackle and a solid nose that you feel like are going to be able to be stout and hold the point consistently, it gives you a chance defensively. And again, the unfortunate injuries that we've had with Max and KB and Sandro, the guys that we do have, taking those reps right now, they have came through and they've never stopped swinging, So, and I know that they want to continue to put a better product out there as well. So they're always hungry to improve each and every day.
And then let's go to the guys on the edge. Ram Stevenson has missed some time, but a veteran Coug. WSU fans know what he can do when he's out there and he's available. Isaac Terrell has maybe taken as big of a step forward as any returning Coug that there is on the defense, maybe on the team. It's been great to see how much havoc he's been able to wreak. Buda Paletti, transfer from New Mexico State, just like Malaki Ta'ase. Jack Janikowski getting that sack a couple of games ago. Michael Hughes. When you think about the edge rushers, what's pleased you most about that group?
I think the thing that's special about the edges is just the versatility that they all have. I think it's really tough to game plan for that many different guys that have that many different skill sets. You have a guy like Buda that's extremely crafty and he's got this great bend and this wiggle, and then you got a guy like Bobby that'll come up and he'll punch you in the mouth, and then you got Ram, he's that guy that has elements of both, and then you have Jack, who's another heavy-handed guy, and then Malaki, like you mentioned earlier, he's been inside, he's been outside. So just the versatility that we've been able to play with on the edge, I think, has really been astounding. And again, we're looking forward to being able to get Ram back on Saturday, so that's going to give us another added element within the run game and also as a pass rusher as well. So really pleased. Those guys are always talking about, it's a race to the quarterback every single opportunity that we get. So I think that's one of the biggest things that stands out to me about the group is that we're really selfless, but there's great competition within the group as well, which ultimately that's what allows you to be the best version of yourself.
What do you feel about the youth? We've seen some of the younger guys play as well, about guys who are making an impact now, or maybe they're waiting in the wings and they'll have a chance to go out there and show what they can do in the near future.
Yeah, I do think that we have a lot of young guys that have been doing really good things for us. Donovan Fitzmaurice is a guy on the interior, that's taken some snaps for us as a true freshman this year, and he's going to continue to blossom. He's going to be a really dominant player for us here. And then you have some other guys that are behind the scenes, as well, giving the offense a good look on the scout team, and they've been doing their very best to be able to make sure that the offensive product that we put out there is as good as possible with the way that they attack everything. So we have a lot of good guys that we are excited about, just continuing to work and roll up our sleeves every single day to get better.
We're going to have our full Louisiana Tech preview with Coach Rogers here coming up still on the show. But, for the defensive line group, and this is Louisiana Tech, they lost their starting quarterback to a season-ending injury in their game last week against Delaware. They've got Trey Kuquick, who has been a starter at times for them, more of a runner. They've got Evan Bullock, who started a number of games for them last year, so a couple of guys that could potentially see. How is it for the defensive line, just knowing that, okay, it's one or both of these two guys that will be out there for Louisiana Tech on Saturday?
Yeah, I think the thing that we've done a really good job of this week is just making sure that we're prepared for both. Like you mentioned, too, he does have a little bit more of a dynamic skill set to him. They do a lot of things with him just as far as the quarterback run game, so that's going to be a critical piece of just making sure that we can stop that. And then if they do try to bring out Seven, a guy that's a little bit more of a pocket passer, not really as fleet as foot. So we've done a really good job just as far as being able to game plan for both of them consistently, just on the off chance that they try to rotate them throughout the course of the game. We're going to be prepared either way.
Anything else unique for the defensive line or the defense as a whole when it comes to this matchup going against Louisiana Tech's offense?
No, I think the thing that we talk about every week is just being the best version of ourselves, playing with great eye control, playing with violent hands and great foot speed, because usually when we have all those three things aligning together, we're going to be really confident as far as what we're going to be able to do defensively with how we handle our business up front. So we just got to make sure that we're always focusing on the fundamentals and the technique to be the best version of ourselves, and then usually success will follow that.
We'll let you give an intro to our next guest. So after this next time out, we're going to have Max Balloon join us. I know in a perfect world he would be out there with his teammates and wouldn't have suffered that injury in the Apple Cup. But Coach Rogers telling us before the good news that still is planning on coming back next year. Max Balloon, what is he like to work with?
It's kind of hard to put it in words. Just the time that I've been able to been with him, he's meant a lot to me. Just with anything that ever goes on with the defensive line or with the team, he's always a guy that I'm asking his opinion on everything, just because he does have that persona about him where everybody gravitates towards him. Honestly, everybody leans on him, and that's myself included, so I really can't put into words just as far as what he's meant to me. I know that he gets mad at me when I call him old man. I'm still probably going to call him old man, but he's done a great job just as far as making sure like his leadership is still always there, whether he's taking the snaps or whether he's not taking the snaps. So he's everything to me. He's everything to the defensive line room, and I'm really excited to be able to have him back.
Great job getting us set up for our interview with him coming up. Thanks for being here, and appreciate the time, and looking forward to coming up on Saturday, seeing what the team can do against Louisiana Tech.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Go Cougs.
Again, that is Jalen Bibbs, defensive line coach here at Washington State, stopping by on the Cougar Football Hour. A reminder, the Cougar Football Hour is presented by Crimson and Gray. Visit them at 1096 Southeast Bishop Boulevard in Pullman, or find them at every coach's show this season. Crimson and Gray, proud supporter of Cougar Athletics. Well, after this break, Max Balloon will stop by, and then we'll have Jimmy Rogers back up here a little bit later as we'll preview Louisiana Tech. You are listening to Cougar Football Hour on the Cougar Sports Network.
Play, stay, get away at Clearwater River Casino in Lewiston, Idaho. Owned and operated by the Nez Perce Tribe. Experience Namipu hospitality with 600 gaming machines, comfortable lodging, dining, and sports bar. Excitement is everywhere. The region's premier destination for events and entertainment. Win big with unforgettable concerts, comedy shows, and live sports action. Discover your next play, stay, get away. Visit crcasino.com and start your adventure today.
At Boot Barn, we believe that the cowboy boot is an American icon. Today's boots are not only rooted in history, but are enhanced with modern technology features for the working cowboy. Ariat boots are built with advanced technology that provides the comfort and support of a high-performance athletic shoe, yet still has the functionality and durability of the iconic cowboy boot. And at Boot Barn, we carry over 250,000 pairs of Ariat boots nationwide. Ariat at Boot Barn.
Everybody knows you shouldn't retire until you're 65.
Buying a house? 20% down or nothing, bud.
It's easy. Put your money into savings and never touch it.
There's a lot of questionable money advice out there. For financial knowledge that can help you reach your version of success, come to Gesa Credit Union. We can walk you through everything you need to feel confident about your finances. There's a healthier approach to money. Find it at Gesa Credit Union. Gesa is an equal opportunity lender.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But if you're a WSU fan and you haven't switched your phone service to Cougs Mobile, you're leaving points on the field. Here's the deal. You get exclusive game day perks, and Cougs Mobile contributes to WSU athletics every time you pay your monthly bill. No contracts, no hidden fees, no reason to wait. Switch now to the only phone plan built for Coug fans and on the T-Mobile 5G network. Visit CougsMobile.com. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. Here we are at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. Great to see everyone here tonight. What a fabulous turnout. It is the Cougar Football Hour getting you ready for Saturday's matchup against Louisiana Tech. 7 o'clock kickoff. And tonight, we've got a special giveaway. We talked about it to begin the broadcast. Giving away tickets, 3 different sets of 4 tickets, and the grand prize winner receiving Cougar Den VIP hospitality passes. We have those winners, and if I say anyone's name wrong, I apologize in advance. Lisa Griswold. Okay, congratulations, Lisa, and that includes the Cougar Den passes. Second winner, Joe Newsom, and then also Ileana Williams, the third winner. So head over to the Crimson and Gray table and grab your prizes, and congrats, and looking forward to seeing all of them and everyone else coming up at Gesa Field Saturday night for the matchup with Louisiana Tech. And now we're joined by Max Balloon, defensive tackle here for WSU. Max, thanks for being here tonight. How are you?
Good. I'm happy to be here. It's going to be a fun time.
Well, I know for you this year has maybe not unfolded how you envisioned going in. Ended up getting hurt in the Apple Cup, and but then Jimmy Rogers telling us the exciting news that you plan on coming back. How is everything? Because you come here from South Dakota State to WSU, and then that injury strikes, and I imagine that's kind of a lot just to process and deal with.
Yeah, definitely a turn of events. Like, excited to come here, excited to finish the season here with the same staff I started with as a freshman, and then the injury happens, but I'm lucky enough to be able to get another year, so I'm going to have to run it back.
That's fantastic. How are you doing? Because when people hear someone gets hurt, they don't necessarily realize the grind that it takes and everything that you're going through. How are you feeling right now after all that?
Pretty good. Rehab's going good. It's going great. So we're progressing one day at a time. It's a long recovery, but it all works out. So
I want to talk to you about your hometown. You're from Redfield, South Dakota. This maybe is one of my favorite facts about any player we've had on the Cougar Football Hour this year. I wonder if anyone here knows the nickname of Redfield, South Dakota. It is the pheasant capital of the world.
There we go.
Tell us about your hometown. How did it end up with the nickname, the pheasant capital of the world?
If you put me on the spot, I might not know the history that well. I think it's where they first released the pheasants into America. That's my best guess. That's what I was told as a kid, at least. So our mascot was the pheasants, so a lot of pheasant hunting there. That's a big tourist industry for Redfield.
And are you a pheasant hunter yourself?
Yes, I have. I've been many times growing up.
So. It's kind of a prerequisite if you grow up in the pheasant capital of the world.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, and that was going to be my next question. High school mascot is the pheasants, but that makes sense. So for you out of high school, Jimmy Rogers was telling us just how long that the two of you have been together. What was your recruitment like, and how did you end up with Jimmy Rogers and the staff at South Dakota State?
It was really good. That was a place growing up in South Dakota, like that's where you want to play. So I was fortunate enough to be recruited by them. Committed pretty early because that's where I wanted to be. Rogers was actually the first coach on the staff that I told that I was committing there. So that's a pretty cool memory of mine. Kind of full circle moment to be here with him now. So it's been a great journey.
And you are you're at the point of kind of the folks who'd been around through COVID. They're phasing out a little bit, but you got to, for better or worse, you got to kind of experience COVID. That would have been right at the start of your college career. Is that the timing right?
Yes, so I graduated in 2020 during the start of the quarantine. So my high school, senior year of high school got ended early.
Yeah, and this year you are, and you're number 6 of college football. How do you kind of look back on the journey to this point?
I think about the first 3 years flew by, and the second 3 years have been a little slower, but I kind of like that. Slow it down. Like, I'm not ready to be done yet, so I wish I would have cherished the first 3 years more.
Soak it all in. How have you enjoyed Pullman? So you're from South Dakota. You played at South Dakota State. This opportunity, you and a number of teammates coming here. Obviously, you know the coaching staff so well. How has it been since coming out here?
It's been awesome. I came here with all the same roommates I had in South Dakota, so I was pretty lucky with that. We're all seniors. So that was awesome moving with them. And then, honestly, like the area and the community, super similar to South Dakota, to Brookings. Really similar to home. Nice personalities everywhere. The scenery's a lot better here, I'll say that. But
what's that group of roommates? What's that collection of guys that you room with?
It's Cale Reeder, Matthew Durance, and Caleb Francel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of have every level of the defense there a little bit represented. Yeah. How are those guys as roommates? Is this a clean house, a clean apartment? What do we got going on?
Not the cleanest. Okay. We do our best, but a lot of 4 guys living together, it's bound to get messy. But nice guys, awesome to live with. I mean, they'll be friends for life, so.
Who's the best cook? Is that you?
It's me, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. What's the dish of choice? What's your specialty?
Just steak, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, steak's a good choice. Can't go wrong with it. So.
I can't imagine any of those guys would be disappointed when you said, hey, I'm grilling steaks tonight. For the defense, while you got hurt during the Apple Cup and haven't been able to be out there since, what's it been like trying to help the team in every way possible, whether that's provide your expertise from your time prior in college football? How has it been being part of the team, even though you've been coming back as best as possible from this injury?
Yeah, just finding different ways to be a leader. Like if you can't be on the field or you're not going to be around guys as much because you're rehabbing more in meeting rooms or at practice, finding things you kind of turn more into more of a coach rather than a player. So it's just been that process.
How does that fit you? Kind of that coaching role.
I like it, honestly. I mean, obviously you want to be playing, but I mean, I'm still doing things with football, and it's making me better. It's making me learn things more. If you have people coming up to you asking questions, like you have to know everything that they're going to ask you, so it makes you more prepared.
How proud are you when you see guys, and it's had to happen on the defensive line, guys step up and you see one of those guys make a play that, maybe they hadn't done that prior in their career? What's that feeling like for you to see someone be able to step up and thrive when given an opportunity?
I think it's the best feeling in the world. I mean, you want your teammates to be successful. You definitely want your position group to be successful. So it doesn't matter who makes the play. Like, we all celebrate as a D-line together because it's us making the play together.
Off the field, how's everything going in the classroom? What are you studying?
Everything's going good. I am in grad school for strategic communication right now, finishing that up, and then probably going to add a certificate onto that to keep it going.
Congratulations. Well, that is great. What are you thinking? Hopefully play football as long as possible, but you're going to have that graduate degree. If the time comes to try to put that to use, what are you thinking?
So it's in strategic communication. I graduated undergrad with advertising degree, so probably just going to that field, and master's is just a nice little cherry on top.
That's awesome.
A little extra line on the resume, so it'll be fun.
There you go. What has you most excited for what's in front of the team the rest of the season?
I think we haven't reached our full potential yet, so really just seeing how good we can be in these last games, getting to where we want to be, and obviously striving for a bowl game. So.
And some of your roommates are like this, and for you, obviously circumstances have changed where you're going to have another year in front of you, but there's 3 more games guaranteed, and then fingers crossed beyond that. How is that? Did you have that sense from your teammates of knowing that, hey, that the guaranteed time that there is left, it's coming down. You're counting down the games. There's only a handful left to go in the season.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. You get to see a lot of guys' careers come to a conclusion, which it's sad, but it's part of life. The coaches have done a great job of emphasizing all the seniors and how this team's never going to be the same again. This is a team that we have. Next year it's going to be different, just like the following year it's going to be different. So it's just trying to do what you can for those seniors so they can have the conclusion they want.
Well, it is great having you here tonight, and very exciting news. I know Jimmy Rogers said it first on Monday that you plan on coming back, and that's big for Coug fans to hear. So continue to heal up and as quick and as easy as possible. I know it's not fun to rehab and to get fully healthy, but it's great having you here and exciting to know that there's more to come for you here in Pullman.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I appreciate it.
Again, that is Max Balloon, defensive tackle for the Cougs, stopping by here on the Cougar Football Hour. A reminder, the Junior Cougs Kids Club is presented by Toyota, is the official kids club of the Washington State Cougars, and it is the best way for the youngest members of Cougar Nation to show off their Cougar pride. Find out more information about your Junior Cougs membership perks at wsucougars.com/JRCougs. We'll take a break. When we come back here to the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman, we'll be rejoined by Jimmy Rogers as we'll preview Saturday's opponent, Louisiana Tech, coming to town. You're listening to the Cougar Football Hour on the Cougar Sports Network.
Get game day ready at Rosars. Rosars is a proud sponsor of WSU Athletics and your headquarters for keeping snacks stocked up for game time. You'll find the largest craft beer selection, local and imported wines, and all the makings for your favorite cocktails. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite deli snacks, pizza, rotisserie chickens, and ribs. Don't just watch the game, experience it with your favorite game time foods. Get game day ready at Rosars.
When putting in a tree or fence post, we all hate it when our shovel hits a big rock. But there are worse things to come across, like a natural gas or electric line. Nowadays, buried utilities are everywhere, some just below the surface. That's why it's the law to call 811 before you dig, to have your lines marked ahead of time. It's free for Avista residential customers. So call 811 2 business days before you dig. You need time to pick out that perfect shrub anyway. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Hampton and Pullman is just a short drive from the Wazoo campus. They've got you covered for all your lodging and dining needs with the new addition of their on-site bar and restaurant, Crimson Bar and Bites. You will feel right at home with their spacious rooms, famous Hampton waffles, cozy outdoor patios, Cougar gift shop, and the friendliest staff in town. Visit HamptonbyHilton.com to reserve a room for your next trip to the Palouse. Coug owned and Coug managed. It matters where you stay. Hampton and Pullman. Hilton for the stay.
Your audio home for all things Cougar Athletics is the Washington State Cougar Podcast Channel. Just search for Washington State Cougars on your favorite podcast platform to follow and subscribe to the official podcast home of the Cougs. Hear our original WSU Athletics podcast, plus replays from the Cougar Sports Network, including football pregame and postgame show coverage, full football game broadcast, and coaches shows. Find it all by searching for Washington State Cougars on your favorite podcast platform to start listening today.
At the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman, it is the Cougar Football Hour. We are rejoined once again by the head coach of the Cougs, Jimmy Rogers, and it's time now for the opponent preview presented by Coors Light. Choose Chill, proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly. Let's dive into this matchup. Okay, Louisiana Tech making their first trip to Pullman, first ever matchup between these two teams. How has it been getting ready for the Bulldogs?
It's been good. Their season, they've kind of gone through the ups and downs as well. So really competitive football team, really fast on the back end of their defense. They do a good job flying around and making plays and communicating, and I think they got some really solid corners. So definitely is going to be a challenge for sure. And then offensively, losing their quarterback hurts, but this is a guy that they obviously believed in enough to start the season. And then he rotates already inside of packages in games. So really more of an athletic quarterback that can make you pay with his legs. And then in the run game, their running back is really talented. And not just one, but they got several that have made a true impact. I think their tight end is really impressive. I think he's one of the better wide receiver type threat tight ends that we've seen this far this season. So it's going to be a challenge anytime you have a tight end that's really multiple. He's a really solid run blocker, but can stretch the field vertically. It creates issues a little bit for defenses, and you always kind of got to know where that person is at. So I feel confident in the game, and we're going to have to come out and play a really physical brand of football, and I'm excited for that.
That tight end you're referencing, Eli Finley, he had a game earlier this year, 154 yards receiving. At that point, it was the most receiving yards by a tight end at the FBS level this year. So he is a great weapon for them, as you mentioned, multiple running backs. The quarterback spots was just last week. They lost Blake Baker, who had been their starter, but Trey Cougar started the season as the guy at quarterback. Evan Bullock, that other quarterback you referenced. How is it there's some I mean, maybe there's some degree of unknown because they've sort of referenced that both guys could play. That's what happened in the Delaware game last week after. But there's also seems to be the known that it's going to be one of those two guys out there at some point.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if 3 played in a season, then obviously it's going to be one of the two. And, Klulik's got a little bit more reps to him right now, and he's a little bit more athletic. But, they both have their strengths. So one passes maybe a little bit more with precision, and then the other one's a little bit more of a run threat. So we're going to have to know who is in the game and balance our calls against what we expect that they could be doing. And then we just got to go out and execute regardless of the call itself against what they're doing. So a lot of that is done and handled throughout the week as far as the communications of little nuances in the game, and I feel like we've done a good job of that this week.
Louisiana Tech actually leads the nation in defensive touchdowns, 7 this year, 2 more than any other team in the nation. You talk about that speed. They've been opportunistic. They have had to deal with losing the Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year in Colby Field. So a stud for them on defense. They haven't had him for a while, but it seems like they've done a good job, just like we're talking about the Cougs, of adapting to next man up.
Yeah, they kind of swing with 3 safeties in the game for them. So they're all really talented, and they can go up and high point a ball, and they're really fast. So the yardage in the air, they're covering it. And, it hurts to lose Fields. I thought he was a really good player. He stood out immediately. But I would say that they don't look like they've dropped off significantly, but I do think that kid is a huge loss just because he is a phenomenal player.
Schematically, they're a little bit different of a defense, right?
Yeah, they're a 3 down, and they do a good job with what they do because it's sound and they play fast. And anytime that you have 3 guys really working against 5 and they can kind of get the ball off track, the speed on the back end can make up for it. And they come they come top down and make a ton of tackles.
Louisiana Tech, the opponent. Kickoff 7 o'clock Saturday night at Gesa Field. Again, our coverage here on the Cougar Sports Network. Derek Dice will get it going with the Coors Light Cougar Tailgate Show at 5 o'clock. Can't wait for that. And it is a busy, busy weekend. Women's basketball, 4 o'clock at Beasley tomorrow. Men's basketball, 8 o'clock against UW. Our coverage will start a half hour prior. And then volleyball earlier in the day on Saturday. So much Cougar athletics to take in coming up this week. And we'll take another break. More with Jimmy Rogers after this. You're listening to the Cougar Football Hour on the Cougar Sports Network.
Hey, Thanksgiving turkey here. You know, the early bird, the harbinger of the holidays. Or at least I used to be. Until Northern Quest dropped this holiday Head Start giveaway on me. Now they're stealing the show with $60,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs before I can become a leftover sandwich. Whatever. Enjoy your $60,000. The holiday Head Start at Northern Quest. Play daily to enter. Earn 4 times entries every Tuesday. Grand prize drawing November 30th.
Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes every moment cheering on your team even better. Plus, the mountains on the bottles and cans turn blue when your beer is Rocky Mountain cold. So you never have to guess if your Coors Light is ready to drink. So crack one open, take a sip, and enjoy the game. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Dear Traction, Toyota has 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. The RAV4 has legendary versatility. The Grand Highlander's adult-sized third row is for real. And the Tacoma's wild side comes standard. From job sites to campsites and game nights, there's an all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive Toyota to get you there in style. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Cougar Football Hour. We are back here at the Lumberyard in downtown Pullman. We're getting ready for the busy weekend of Cougar athletics, and we're back here with the head coach of the Cougs, Jimmy Rogers. We're talking about this busy weekend, Coach. We've got basketball doubleheader tomorrow. The women playing Stanford at 4, the men playing UW at 8. Not only a great opportunity for folks to enjoy Cougar athletics, but I know it's a recruiting weekend. Some guys maybe going to be at the basketball game. Just the atmosphere is going to be great, and can't wait for everyone to pack Beasley, to pack Bowler for volleyball, and then to pack Gesa Field as well on Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll have official visitors coming in on Friday, and so they'll be able to join us and go to the UW game and the Apple Cup game, and that will be awesome. And then another set of official visitors that play Friday night will be coming in and be able to join us for this weekend Saturday game. So it's pivotal that, you know, as a whole community, that we come out to these games, because this is what great players want to play in front of. And so the more each and every one of you that are coming to the game bring one or two, or continue to share the word that your presence is really important, especially when we're recruiting high caliber players that we're recruiting against, you know, future conference opponents, but also some kids that have had a lot of opportunities at the highest of levels. And so in order to kind of wow them and welcome them, I think it's extremely important to show up and support the football team regardless of anything prior. It's Dad's weekend, right? Or Mom and Dad's weekend. So we're excited for that, get that back in Pullman. And yeah, every home game here in Pullman has been awesome so far, so I'm excited for another one.
And the schedule couldn't really worked out better. If you're a Coug fan and you want to take in as much as possible, this weekend is the ultimate crossover season, and you've got these 4 opportunities here. On the recruiting front, how has it been? I know for you, a lot of ties in the Midwest, just being at South Dakota State for so many years. You're from Arizona, you have ties there. You know, the staff has ties everywhere. How has it been continuing to have those ties and connections, but building ones here in the Northwest as well?
Yeah, I think that was one of our top priority, was trying to recruit the state of Washington. And as we go, I think everything, when you're looking at recruiting, you always have to go back to, they got to be able to play for you, compete for you, because that's where the experience is really at. And so we've kind of branched off and found players technically all over the country. And obviously with the coaching change that happens, there's already players from all over the country. So it's a little bit more natural to recruit to, because I think the best recruiting tool is your current team, and our players have done a great job of connecting with future Cougs.
Well, can't wait for those guys who are in town this weekend, and those future Cougs will be getting their first taste of things. Coach, we appreciate the time. Looking forward to Saturday. We'll talk to you next before that game with Louisiana Tech.
Appreciate it. Go Cougs.
Again, a big thanks not only to Jimmy Rogers, but all of our guests here tonight on the Cougar Football Hour, to Jalen Bibbs and Max Balloon, to the folks who make it all happen, Jerry Kylo here on the audio side, Jared Pringruber on the video side, to Zane Saggio back in our Cougar Sports Network studios. I'm Chris King signing off. This has been the Cougar Football Hour, live from the Lumberyard here in downtown Pullman. Go Cougs! We'll talk to you next tomorrow for Hoops, Saturday for the matchup with La Tech.